Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast or to my YouTube video, wherever you're finding this. I'm Bailey Rain and this is Rain Movement, and I just wanted to hop on and do a quick short video about breathwork. I recently experienced an extremely powerful psychedelic womb healing breathwork technique, and it just blew my mind. So I wanted to talk about the power of pranayama or breath a little bit and kind of dive into that. So before we do, just know that I do have a podcast, clearly, and I do have a YouTube channel. So if you didn't know that, please go ahead and hit that follow button, that like, that subscribe. That's what's keeping this going, keeping me going with free content to share with you, workouts, conversations, yoga flow, hikes, all of that stuff, and creating this reality here. So, and thank you to all of you that already are. I'm so grateful for you. But first, I want to speak to I've done some breathwork videos of a few pranayamas that I really enjoyed, like the bumblebee breath where we hum and cover the eyes, alternate nostril breathing, 3-part yogic breath. So there's a lot of, there's lion's breath or breath of fire, there's skull shining breath. Oh my gosh, there's so many, I could keep going. And all of them are so amazing and powerful in so many different ways. And I find the breath is just so important for our bodies to be able to expand to our full capacity and contract. And to breathe deeper just brings us more into presence. And so when you're going through a workout, if you're going through a yoga class or anything, notice your breath. Notice if you're retaining it, holding it. Notice if you're ever clenching your jaw. This is your body resisting letting go. And so when we're holding our breath, it's because we're holding on to control. We don't want to push too far, or we don't want to stretch too far or whatever. So we're trying to control the situation. And when we can find a deeper breath, it's like signaling to the body, I can let go. I am safe to let go. So let's do that together. Just close your eyes. Bring your hands onto your body, maybe right hand on your heart, left hand on top of your right. Just take a nice deep inhale. Hold your breath at the top. Try to pull a little more air in. Hold it. Exhale out your mouth. Do that again. Deep breath in. Hold the breath, sip in a little more air. Hold it. Exhale it out. So another beautiful thing, just notice how you feel for a second. Just notice how it felt to take a deep breath. How hard that is to do. Oh my gosh, sometimes it's really, there's some days where it's like, man, I cannot breathe. I can't breathe at all. So finding that and just noticing, what did it just do to your heart? Did it feel like it loosened something? Did it expand something? And then audibly exhaling. So that's something that's kind of tossed around a little bit, especially in yoga. Most of the time you're breathing in and out of the nose, which is the most sustainable option and choice. But I do find a lot of people will look like they're breathing out of their nose, in and out of their nose, but they're holding their breath, especially when balancing, doing tree pose or warrior 3 or anything like that. So we want to sometimes take the opportunity, we want to breathe in through our nose, but we want to release the jaw and exhale out. And now the throat chakra and your breath are connected. So when we're working with the two and we're making sound, it's like even more of a signal that I'm releasing. I'm letting go. I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back my voice. I'm not holding back control. I'm going, I'm letting it all out, all on the table. And so finding the vocalization is really important to help with your breath. And sometimes it allows you to breathe deeper. You can breathe deeper when you start making sound. You start to feel safe in your body. It's just like, ah. So, yeah. Breath work is just powerful. And sometimes I find that it's even better than your yoga practice, than the actual movement, because really in the end, the movement is just to settle us into deeper meditation, into stillness, which is being present with your breath, being present with your body, being open fully. And we move to kind of break up any blockages in the body, and so that when we rest and we breathe, we're allowing the flow of consciousness, divine consciousness, to be able to come through us and maybe give us messages, or maybe just allow us to be present enough to rest. In a society where we feel like rest is a bad thing, I almost want to say like rest is a sin, and it's not. We have this masculine mentality to think we have to be doing and going and working and pushing and all of the time, but that's not living. Living is taking a deep breath, of being fully present in your body, of experiencing pleasurable moments, of just honoring the food that you're eating, or the water you're drinking, or the coffee you're sipping on, like being fully present. That's living. And it doesn't have to be this extravagant trip. It doesn't have to be this fancy new car that now you can speed down the road in and it makes you feel like you're living and it's this adrenaline rush. It's not that. Living is being fully present in the simplest of things and finding the beauty in those simple things, in the presence and the love and the mundane things. That's presence. That's moving your life through meditation. That's truly living as a human being, not a human doing. We want to be humans doing things all the time, but when we take a deep breath, we pause, we stop, we're present. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to be. And yes, we have divine purposes, but most likely your corporate job isn't your divine purpose. You have something else. And through deeper breaths and through deeper presence, you find what you're really here for. What are you really here to do? And for some people, it could be simply to experience, to connect with other people and beings. For some, maybe it's teaching. For some, maybe it's, I don't know, helping people that need help, or helping in financial situations and stuff. So, and that's where a corporate situation would kind of fall in, if that's the kind of person you are and what you feel your dharmic purpose is. We need people in every field. But, you know, just really feeling into presence is going to get you to discover why you're really here. And the breath is the key to that. The breath is the number one thing that can bring you back to who you are, who you chose to come here to be, who you were before you forgot. So it's powerful. And in the very beginning here of this, I mentioned a psychedelic breathwork. And that's what I want to end this short conversation on. So I've found through pranayama and yoga that the breath can just, like I was saying, bring you presence, bring you stillness, bring you peace and contentment. But also there's this other avenue of it. There's a whole other power play in the breath work that can be found. And that is what I experienced for the first time ever in my life, just recently. So it was a breathwork technique. I've never done Wim Hof, and it might be something similar to Wim Hof breath. And I'm not gonna show it fully here. It's something you can kind of research a little bit for yourself. But basically, these shaman women held space in a yurt, and we listened to drums, and we had music really up loud, and we started doing 3 rounds of this quick breathing, and we were all laying down. You don't want to sit up for this. And so we're laying down, and this breath, this quick breath to the beat, to the rhythm, and in, out, through the mouth, over and over again, releases the natural DMT chemical in your brain. And when that happens, it sends you on a mild, controlled psychedelic journey. So it's not like going and, like, to me, taking ayahuasca or, I don't know, doing a cannabis ceremony or something like that. It's taking you, it's almost like another entity is coming in and pulling in control. So it's like you're in the background and you want to be able to understand what's happening, like what's real, what's not. Where with your own breath and releasing your own chemical, you're more in control. You're more capable of deciphering what's real and what's not, because it's all coming from your own body. You're not ingesting a plant and its properties to hit that psychedelic state. So no, it's not as intense where you're throwing up or anything like that, or purging in any way, shape, or form, but it gets you to the state where all your emotions with the breath get bubbled and bubbled and bubbled and bubbled and bubbled, and then it's like they burst and you can't control it. I mean, if you really wanted to think hard on it, you could probably control it, but obviously the goal is not to. It's to release the stored emotions and traumas that are within our body with the breath. And so that pumping over and over again and the release of the chemical kind of gets you, for me, it got me to a point where my hands were going numb and I wanted to shake. It was my hands really wanted to shake. My chest, so I'm like laying on the floor, like shimmying like that, trying to move this out, and it was like I couldn't stop. And then you have the music going, and so my whole body was moving, and now that I experienced the same thing on ayahuasca, I just had even less control. But I was experiencing this again, and the facilitator came to me and she's like, you feel the shaking and in your hands because your heart's blocked. And she started tapping and tapping, and I just started screaming and crying, and all the other women, because it was a women's only circle, there was a men's only rage circle after, which I think is so amazing and so powerful. But this was all for women, and to really honor like the womb and our mother's mother, and all those stored emotions that come through the womb because of, there's so much I can go into with that, which I won't right now, but basically it was all women, and that was the intention. And for me, moving that breath up brought it here. And so it was like this huge breakthrough, and you have control, but yet you don't have control. And it was the most transformative, powerful thing I have ever experienced. And yes, I'm comparing that to my ayahuasca experience. We did 3 rounds of it. The last round wasn't as intense. And by the 3rd round, she wanted us moving. So like dancing, not standing. So again, you're keeping your body low to the ground. You're like on your knees, on all 4s, maybe you're on your belly, and you're just kind of like moving from your sacral chakra. So moving the emotions, and moving from your sacral chakra is sexual, it's sensual, it's being fully embodied as the feminine that we are. And we moved all that pain, all that hurt, all that anger, all the grief, and we broke it up, and then we were moving in the way that is most natural to us. And it was just, I cried, I screamed, and then when I danced, I smiled, and it was just, and it was all from the breath. And when we were done, you felt perfectly fine. You were kind of most of us probably were like, whoa, that was, that was crazy. But it was really wonderful. So I highly recommend, if you ever hear about any form of psychic breathwork, shamanic breathwork, and you're working through some deep wounds, some deep pain, traumas, anything like that, I highly recommend going and doing that and trying that. Our breath is the most powerful thing we were gifted. We should honor it. We should love it so deeply. So thank you all so much for joining me in this little chit chat about breath and the power of breath and how important it is for our bodies and our well-being in so many ways, shape, and forms. And I'm just learning more and more as time goes by. This is a little different video, especially on YouTube, if you're seeing it on YouTube, because I don't have my little intro. I don't have my little ending. I'm filming this in a totally different way, but thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being here, and breathe deeper, breathe faster, breathe in whatever way you want to feel safe again, to feel safe in your body, in your life, to get back to that parasympathetic nervous system and our remembrance as to why we're even here. It's so powerful, it's so beautiful. So thank you all so much. Keep moving towards your healing. Honor your light, honor your dark, just like I honor my light and my dark. We're supposed to have the balance. So thank you, and I hope to see you in another video or podcast conversation soon.